Hello everyone, Weather Jamaica here. Welcome to this updated video on weather across Jamaica and the rest of the Caribbean. It is Sunday evening, March 16, 2025. Now before we jump into it, please ensure that you guys like the video. I'd really appreciate it if you guys get this video to 100 likes. If you don't know by now, that's how the YouTube algorithm works. We all like the video and then the YouTube algorithm pushes the video out to more persons who are in the path of these tropical systems so that we can keep everyone safe, especially during the peak months of Atlantic hurricane season, that's August through to October. Share this video with your friends, your co-workers, your relatives, and even your church brethren, and subscribe if you haven't yet done so. Please ensure that you all utilize the progress bar that's located at the bottom of the video, as well as the timestamps that are located not only in the comment section but the video description, so that you can skip to the points in the video that you want to see the most in order to save time, because we know that the videos over here with Jamaica can be very long. Leave a comment down below letting me know what has been like in your area recently. Also, feel free to ask any weather related question that you might have about the future of the weather in your specific area. Alright, so we're going to be looking at what the next 7 days have in store for us, according to the latest Euro and GFS supercomputer model runs that came out today. So keep your eyes focused on the timestamp right here at the top as we go out to the next 168 hours. Keep your eyes focused on Jamaica right here as we look for all of this that we see on the key on the right. That's the reds, the oranges, the yellows, and the greens that represents inches of rainfall. So let's see what's going to be taking place over the next 7 days. As we head into Monday morning, what do we see? We see some dots of greens to the south of us, to the west of us, that represent some isolated morning rainfall out to sea. And then by Monday afternoon, we see that rainfall across sections of some eastern, central, and western parishes. What does the GFS show for the same time period? Let's see. First of all, Monday morning, instead of having that rainfall out to sea, out to the west, it's more so across western Jamaica, northern Jamaica, and the waters to the south of us. Then for Monday afternoon, we also see that rainfall across sections of eastern, central, and western parishes. Very interesting. Let us see what Tuesday has in store for us. We can see the moisture associated with that possible cold front extending from the waters to the north of the Bahamas, all the way down to portion of the southern Bahamas, eastern Cuba, Jamaica, especially northern Jamaica on Tuesday morning. The waters to the west and southwest of us. And then Tuesday afternoon has the moisture across central and eastern parishes. Very interesting. What does the GFS show for the same time period? Tuesday morning shows the rainfall across northern parishes. Then Tuesday afternoon has that rainfall across eastern, southern, and well, that's it, southern and eastern parishes. Let's see what Wednesday has in store for us. So we're not seeing much change. Wednesday into Thursday as well as Friday is showing all white. That represents little to no rainfall at all across the island of Jamaica. Even as we wrap up the end of the 168 hours, still not getting in on much. Just some dots of green starting to come in by Sunday, March 23. So I guess all of Wednesday, going all the way back to Sunday, is going to be dry, according to this latest Euro model. What does the latest GFS show? Wednesday, look at Jamaica in the white. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then we're back into Sunday. And we are kind of seeing a similarity regarding what the end of 168 hours hold. So by Sunday, we're starting to get in on some more moisture to the south of us across eastern Jamaica as well. Very interesting forecast. So I guess after Wednesday, the next time that rainfall should come is Sunday. We'll say it actually plays out. Either way, in terms of the total accumulated precipitation forecast from both the Euro and the GFS right here, both maps right here showing all the rainfall that's expected from now up until 10, well, not 10 p.m. but 7 a.m. on Sunday, March 23, 2025. We can see that the most rainfall still should be plaguing portions of northern South America into portions of Central America, where we have the dark reds, purples into the pinks. that represents anywhere from 2 to 5 inches of rainfall. We're talking about sections of Venezuela, Colombia, Panama, Costa Rica, eastern Nicaragua, Honduras, Belize, Guatemala. We clearly see that both the Euro and the GFS models are in agreement with that. But the greens into the yellows and oranges and reds are represented from 0.1 of an inch all the way up to 1 inch of rainfall. Should be plaguing areas such as Guyana, Suriname, French Guiana, Trinidad and Tobago, the ABC Islands, Grenada, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Barbados, St. Lucia, Martinique, Dominica, Guadeloupe, Montserrat, Antigua and Barbuda, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Martin, section of the US and British Virgin Islands, Anguilla, Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic, Haiti, Cuba, the Bahamas, Jamaica, the Cayman Islands, even section of the eastern Yucatan. And we can clearly see that both the Euro and the GFS models are in agreement with this forecast. I know that the chances are higher when they're in agreement. But if we focus our attention on Jamaica's total accumulated precipitation over the next 7 days, both the Euro and the GFS models are adamant that it's going to be raining somewhere across Jamaica within the next 7 days. We see the blues that represents anywhere from 1 millimeter all the way up to maybe 15 millimeters of rainfall. I know most of this rainfall is going to be taking place during the afternoon hours. And whatever happens, I'll definitely be here to keep you posted on our other social media platform. So please ensure that you're following us over there. Taking a look at the surface map of the Atlantic for this evening, you can see the blue spike line right here across the eastern US associated with the frontal system, cold front at that. We see a trough extending from the waters to the northeast of the Caribbean all the way down into the Leeward Islands. And to the north of the trough, we have a ridge of high pressure that we know is responsible for sending all of the easterly trade winds across the main development region into the Caribbean. And if we take a look at the visible satellite images of the Atlantic before the sun went down, we can make out all of the entities that we just saw on the surface map. The clouds associated with the frontal system extending from the east coast of the US down into portions of the Gulf. We also see some of the energy across sections of Central America, northern Belize, the Yucatan. And we can see it even better on the infrared. Look at the yellows, oranges, reds that represents the thunderstorm activity across sections of Florida down into sections of Central America right there. Very interesting. But the surface map is also showing the clouds associated with the trough. Lots of bad weather out there to see to the northeast of the Caribbean. And we can make out the low level flow as well as the mid level flow of the clouds being steered from the east to west, all courtesy of the ridges of high pressure to the north. We'll be talking more about the rest of the Caribbean later on. Let us focus our attention on the prediction that was made in yesterday's video about the weather across Jamaica for today, Sunday, March 16, 2025. It was stated that rainfall would have been in store for a section of some southern and eastern parishes on Sunday morning, also affecting sections of some northern and western parishes during Sunday afternoon. And we know southern parishes, we're talking about Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth, Manchester, Clarendon, St. Catherine, Kingston, St. Andrew, and St. Thomas. Eastern parishes, and we're talking about those parishes in the county of Surrey, like Portland, St. Thomas, Kingston, St. Andrew. And northern parishes, and we're talking about those parishes on top, like Hanover, St. James, Trelawney, St. Anne, St. Mary, and Portland. And what ended up happening? As early as 4:35 a.m., the visible satellite, well, the infrared satellite image was posted here, not only on our Twitter page with the Jamaica, but it was also posted on our Instagram page with the Jamaica, on our TikTok page with the Jamaica, and on our Facebook page with the Jamaica 876. So if you have one of those social media platforms, please ensure that you follow us there as we make posts throughout the day that you can't afford to miss. So we can see the clouds bringing some overcast skies, if not some isolated shores, to section of eastern Jamaica and even southern parishes for sure. Definitely got that. Even saw some of the activity on the Cuban Doppler radar imagery at the time. Then at around 2:01 p.m., the visible satellite image was posted, and it highlighted the clouds starting to build across section of northern Jamaica, all courtesy of the moist east-southeasterly flow across the island. We saw the clouds across sections of Hanover, northern St. Elizabeth, St. James, Trelawney, St. Anne, sections of St. Mary, Portland getting in on the cloud cover, if not the isolated shower activity for sure. And if we take a look at the visible satellite images of Jamaica before we lost the sunlight, we can definitely make out that moist east-southeasterly or southeasterly flow, and then all of the air piling up across northern Jamaica where we had the clouds building, bringing us overcast skies, if not some isolated showers. Even as we're losing the sunlight, we're still getting on the cloud cover across the western areas over here. If we take a look at the infrared close-up satellite imagery, we can see we still have some clouds over there. But in terms of the convection, we don't see any high cold cloud tops, no blues, greens, yellows, oranges, reds, no sparkling white dots that represent lightning strikes or lightning flashes. So it was mainly just some low to mid-level clouds in the into the low to mid levels of the atmosphere. And we have the camera here from See Jamaica's YouTube channel showing 1:14 p.m. and along the Rio Cobra, the flat bridge, we see people in their vehicles going about their business. We see that the river definitely chilling as we speak. Conditions were dry but definitely cloudy at that time. And I would like for you to keep in mind that if you'd like to see more live streams like this, as well as Halfway Tree, Crossroads, just visit See Jamaica on YouTube. They have these live streams for your viewing pleasure, and they're planning on increasing the amount of cameras that they have in and around the island. So subscribe today so that you don't miss out. Taking a look at the total accumulated precipitation for the past 24 hours from the Caribbean Institute for Meteorology and Hydrology website, this map does indeed paint quite the picture of where we might have had that rainfall today, especially across sections of some northern parishes during the afternoon, as well as sections of some southern parishes and eastern parishes in the morning. And we have a few comments from some of our followers confirming what the weather was like in their area. We have Patsy Lecky stating light rain, posted 2 hours ago. We also have Winsome Foster posting from this morning, highlighting that southeast St. Elizabeth got a little bit of rainfall early this morning, because I could still see the raindrops on the windows when I woke up. Thanks for confirming, Winsome. And we had a nice video here from Chico, who stated that St. Anne's Bay was getting some rainfall at 2:40 p.m. and here's the video clip right here. Thank you very much for confirming what the weather was like in your area. Also, feel free to share videos like this if you'd like to be featured in our future videos. Really appreciate these videos for sure. So this indeed confirms the afternoon rainfall that St. Anne's Bay got. We know St. Anne's Bay is in the parish of St. Anne, which is a northern parish. And if we reload the very latest infrared close-up satellite image from the Weather Nerd website, let's see what's taking place right now. The latest image is as of 23:45 UTC, which is actually 6:45 p.m. and it's 6:56 p.m. right now. And we can still see the clouds bringing some overcast skies, if not some isolated shores, mainly to the left-hand side of the island, mainly to a section of some central and western parishes like Hanover, St. James, Trelawny, St. Anne, maybe section of Clarendon, Manchester, St. Elizabeth, and Westmoreland getting in on the overcast skies, maybe blocking out the stars, blocking out the moon if it's out, bringing some isolated showers in some areas. And we have confirmation here from the Cuban Doppler radar site confirming what the weather is like over there. The latest Doppler radar is as of 7:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is actually 6:50 p.m. Jamaica time. So this just came out 7 minutes ago, considering that it's 6:57 p.m. right now. And we can see the greens into the yellows into the gold that represent Moderado and Fuerte, moderate rainfall and strong or heavy rainfall, especially across the waters to the north of Hanover, St. James. Some of it still onshore across section of Trelawny, and it's extending out towards the northwest, towards the waters to the east of Little Cayman. And if we take a look at the Guantanamo Bay Cuban naval radar imagery, can't really make out anything taking place across northeastern Jamaica during the last frames, but we do see some isolated shores to the north of Guantanamo. We also see some rainfall right here, some moderate rainfall, if not heavy rainfall, across the western peninsula of Haiti. And if we take a look at the Cayman radar, we can make out some of the rainfall that we saw. The waters to the northwest of Hanover, right here to the east of Little Cayman. If we take a look at the Crossroads cam, the live camera from See Jamaica's YouTube channel right here, showing that it should be a fair evening for sure. We have people in their vehicles going about their business, people walking about, going about their business. As of this time, nothing in the way of bad weather taking place. If we take a look at the temperatures right now, we can see that we're 25 degrees Celsius in both Montego Bay and Kingston, and by about 4 a.m. on Monday, temperature should dip down to about 24 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 22 degrees Celsius in Kingston. Taking a look at the temperature forecast for tomorrow, this map from the GFS is highlighting what the temperatures will be like for 18Z on Monday, which is actually 1 p.m. on Monday. Look at the abundance of below normal temperatures in the blues and grays. Very interesting across the Gulf. But across Jamaica, it looks like the western half is going to get grays while the eastern half is going to get yellows. Grays represent average temperatures, yellows represents at least 1 degree Celsius above average temperature. I will know the normal temperature or the average temperature for the month of March is around 87.3 degrees Fahrenheit. When that's converted to degrees Celsius that we use here in Jamaica, that's around 30.7 degrees Celsius. So I should be receiving anywhere from 30 to 31.7 degrees Celsius at most. Maybe the highest up to the 31.7 should be across the eastern end, western end getting maybe 30. We'll see it actually plays out. Either way, in terms of the maintenance outage advisories here from my JPS Online's Twitter page, you know that we have to highlight these because you know that when we have power outages, it can definitely be exacerbated by the heat because we don't have our fan or our AC to cool us down. So if you live or work in these areas, or if you have friends or relatives who live or work in these areas, let them know that a power outage is coming their way on March 17, 2025, tomorrow, Monday. We're talking about Greenvale in Trelawney from 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. as well as Westchester Road and roads leading off in St. Catherine from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And we have some tips right here to beat the heat as usual. It states here, when outside, seek shade. It also states dress down, wear lightweight clothing and use sunscreen. Check on others, including children, elderly people with medical conditions. We also have be cool, stay indoors and make use of fans and air conditioners. Avoid alcohol and caffeine as they can make dehydration worse. Limit non-essential strenuous activity during the hottest part of the day. And I cannot stress enough the importance of staying hydrated throughout the day, even if you're not thirsty, and put away those sugar drinks and drink water instead. Taking a look at the dry air map, we know that the dry air is represented by what we see here on the key on the bottom. That's the yellows, oranges, reds, and the whites within those reds. And we can see the abundance of dry air across the entire Atlantic basin. The most dry air is right here off the coast of Africa, as well as across the Gulf. The least amount of dry air is across the Eastern Pacific, as well as the Intertropical Convergence Zone. And we also see the low end of the scale in terms of dry air in the yellows across portions of the Caribbean and even sections of the Western Main Development Region. That's what we want to see. We want to see the moist air because that increases our chance of getting some rainfall in the dry season. And if we take a look at the Saharan dust forecast for 18 UTC on Monday, that's 1 p.m. on Monday, we see the browns represent the Saharan dust extending from Africa across the eastern to the southern Main Development Region. Some of the Saharan dust should be across portions of northeastern South America. We also see it in portions of the Windward Islands, so anywhere from St. Lucia southward, Barbados, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Grenada, Trinidad and Tobago, Venezuela, Guyana, Suriname, French Guiana. But it's on the low end of the scale. It's between the 1 and 10 range in terms of the intensity. So we're glad that we're not seeing these ranges over here that's across Africa, anywhere from 50 all the way up to the 500 range. We know that is what usually means very hazy skies for us. That could definitely cause some problems such as asthma, sinusitis issues, and we don't want any of that at all. So we're indeed grateful that this is the forecast for 1 p.m. on a Monday, having North America, the Bahamas, Jamaica, and the Caribbean, and majority of Northern South America and Central America in the clear. Taking a look at the wave forecast for tomorrow, we can see that the waters of the Caribbean should be getting on those light shades of blues to dark shades of blues, representing anywhere from 0.5 for meter wave height all the way up to 1.5 meter wave height. Waters on the north coast tomorrow of Jamaica 0.8 of a meter wave height. South coast something similar, maybe up to 1 meter wave height in some areas on the south coast, and that's because of the winds. Clearly the highest wind should be across the Gulf, where we have the winds coming in from the north, getting on those yellows, representing anywhere from 20 to maybe even 30 knots. Wind should be coming in from the east to the west across majority of the Caribbean, and we see the green, so it should be averaging anywhere from 5 to 10 to 15, maybe even up to 20 knots in some areas. But regarding Jamaica's wind forecast, we see on the north coast wind should be averaging 8 knots from the east, south coast 7 knots from the southeast. Look at the western end of the island, winds coming in from the northwest at 10 knots. Very strange. Either way, we see where the air should be piling up across inland areas of some eastern, central, and western parishes. So who knows, maybe that's where we get some amount of isolated shore activity. And with the upper level winds coming in from the west southwest tomorrow, if we get some convection tomorrow, those high cold cloud tops would be sheared off towards the east northeast. And if we take a look at the actual rainfall forecast now, both maps here from the Euro and the GFS are adamant that it should be raining somewhere in Jamaica tomorrow. This map from the Euro showing some dots of blues across the water to the north, as well as hugging the coast, maybe Hanover, St. James, maybe Trelawney, St. Anne, maybe St. Mary, and maybe Portland. The GFS has some rainfall out there, but it's more so to the north of St. Anne and St. Mary. You also see some rainfall to the south of us. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. 7 a.m. is actually 6 a.m. here. Now we're looking at about, let's see, this is 12 p.m. on both the Euro and the GFS, which is actually 11 a.m. We see some dots of blue starting to develop across section of some eastern, central, and western parishes. Then it's around the end of the day that we see it more robust. 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is actually 3 p.m. Jamaica time. Look at the blues represent rainfall, and it should be mainly across some south central and southwestern parishes, maybe even southeastern parishes too. It looks to be more on the southern parishes side, so I guess the forecast could be northern Jamaica in the morning, southern Jamaica in the afternoon. Very interesting. We see the dark shades of blues across southern Jamaica on the Euro. GFS also has most of the blues on the south side. It's going to be interesting to see how all of this plays out. Either way, both maps from the Euro and the GFS in terms of the accumulated precipitation are showing that it's going to be raining somewhere in Jamaica tomorrow. In the Euro, going all the way up to even the yellows represent up to 0.3 of an inch of rainfall. The GFS going all the way up to at least 0.41 of an inch of rainfall out the western end. We'll see it actually plays out. Either way, whatever happens, we'll take it, because we're in the month of March. We're in the driest month of the year. And in Kingston, whose bar graph is being shown right here at the top, we usually receive up to 10 millimeters of rainfall for the month of March. In Montego Bay, whose bar graph is being shown right here at the bottom, we usually receive up to 2.2 inches of rainfall for the month of March. And I would like for you to keep in mind that if you'd like to find out what your specific parish usually receives in terms of rainfall for the month of March or for the entire year, you can visit weatherandclimate.com, and that website to show you that information. And you can use this nice graphic right here that converts the rainfall from inches to millimeters. You know that 1 inch of rainfall is about the same as 25 millimeters of rainfall, so you can do the math yourself. Alright, so that's it for the forecast across Jamaica. Let us focus our attention on the rest of the Caribbean. So as stated, we have the low to mid-level flow of the clouds being strung out across the eastern to the western Caribbean. We see the clouds associated with that trough to the northeast of the Leeward Islands. We see the frontal systems clouds across the eastern US down into portion of Central America as we speak, and the usual thunderstorm activity across section of northern South America by the end of the day. And if we take a look at the Doppler radar imagery of the northeastern Caribbean, let's see what's going on near Puerto Rico. Maybe some isolated shores as we speak across southern Puerto Rico. Not seeing much of anything elsewhere. But if we load these images from earlier today, We can see that section of south central Puerto Rico is getting into some isolated showers for sure. Taking a look at the Barbados radar, not seeing much of anything across Barbados right now. We do see some moisture to the west of Barbados, to the north of Barbados. We see the greens into the yellows. They represent some moderate to heavy rainfall. Some rainfall affecting portions of Martinique, the waters to the east of St. Lucia, sections of St. Vincent, and the Grenadines getting into some isolated shores. Not really seeing much of anything across Trinidad and Tobago. But if we take a look at the weather Doppler radar images, look at the rain band associated with the frontal system, now affecting portions of Florida, section of the Yucatan with their heavy rain band. We see all of this is pushing south and east towards sections of Belize, northeastern Guatemala. We also see some rainfall right here across section of Colombia, northwestern Venezuela, northeastern Venezuela, Guyana, Suriname, and the waters to the north of the ABC Islands. We see some rain bands pushing from east-west. And regarding where the rainfall is expected within the next 24 hours, both maps here from the year and the GFS are showing that within the next 24 hours, the most rainfall should be across Colombia, here in the yellows, oranges, reds, purples. Also sections of Venezuela, Guyana, Suriname, French Guiana, Panama, Costa Rica, sections of Guatemala, Belize, eastern Yucatan Peninsula, section of northwestern Honduras, sections of Bahamas, Cuba, the Cayman Islands, Jamaica, southern Haiti, Puerto Rico. We also see some rainfall in store for section of Martinique, St. Lucia as well. And we clearly see that both the Euro and the GFS models are in agreement with this forecast. I know that when they're in agreement like this, the chances of it actually happening are much higher. Alright, so that's it for today. Thanks for watching.